Before we begin, subscribe and follow for more football stories, reactions and viral moments, because Spain may have won the World Cup, but somehow the smallest member of the Yamal family stole the entire show. Seriously. Lamine Yamal became a world champion at only 19 years old. Spain defeated Argentina. The players lifted the trophy. Millions of people were watching, and yet the internet looked at all of that and said, okay, but where is Lamine Yamal's little brother? Because Lamine Yamal was not simply attending the World Cup. He was producing content, he was creating viral moments, and apparently, he had decided that this tournament belonged to him. Kane is Lamine Yamal's 3-year-old half-brother, and throughout the World Cup, cameras repeatedly caught him celebrating Spain's goals, making faces on the stadium screen and reacting with more energy than most adults in the stands. Lamine has described Kane as being like a son to him and said that seeing his little brother happy means everything to him. And honestly, you can immediately see how close they are. After Spain won the semi-final against France, Kane ran toward Lamine, and Lamine picked him up while they celebrated together. It was already one of the sweetest moments of the tournament. But apparently, Kane was only warming up, because after Spain defeated Argentina in the World Cup final, he entered the pitch like he had personally scored the winning goal. He was wearing Spain's red jersey with his brother's number 19. On the back, he had a piece of the goal net in his hand, and the second he spotted Lamine, he ran directly toward him through the celebrations and photographers. Lamine crouched down with his arms open. Kane reached him, tossed the piece of net toward him, and jumped straight into his arms. Lamine hugged him, kissed his cheek, and held him in the middle of the World Cup celebrations. And I am sorry, but that moment was almost too cute. Spain had just become world champions, but for a few seconds, Lamine did not look like one of the most famous footballers in the world. He simply looked like a proud older brother who wanted to celebrate with his favorite person, but Kane was not finished. Because instead of standing quietly beside Lamine like a normal child, he started exploring the pitch as though the stadium belonged to his family. He walked around the field. He celebrated with the players and their children. He tried on a police officer's hat. He stared at the giant inflatable World Cup trophy. Basically, while the Spanish team was having its official championship celebration, Kane was having his own separate adventure. At this point, the internet has basically promoted him from Lamine Yamal's little brother to Spain's official team mascot, and the comments are hilarious. People are joking. Kane has already witnessed more trophies than my entire club. 3 years old and already attending 2 international championship celebrations. His current market value is at least 20 million, and honestly, 20 million might be too low. The kid already understands branding. He wears number 19. He knows exactly where the cameras are. He creates viral moments without saying a single word. Some professional footballers have been trying to build that kind of aura for 10 years. Kane achieved it by sticking out his tongue on a stadium screen. During Spain's quarter-final victory over Belgium, he had apparently told Lamine one day earlier that he planned to stick out his tongue if the camera showed him. When he actually appeared on the giant screen and did it, Lamine immediately started laughing on the pitch. Think about how funny that is. Lamine Yamal is competing in the biggest tournament in football. He is surrounded by pressure, expectations, and millions of viewers. Meanwhile, his 3-year-old brother is planning his next appearance on the stadium screen. Different priorities. Same level of confidence. And this did not begin at the World Cup. Kane was also there when Spain won the European Championship in 2024, so before his 4th birthday, he had already celebrated a European Championship and a World Cup on the pitch with his brother. Some adults spend their entire lives waiting for their national team to win one major trophy. Kane has probably reached the stage where he thinks this happens every 2 years. Imagine him watching Spain lose an ordinary match in the future. He will probably be completely confused. Like, where is the trophy? Why is nobody giving us medals? Why am I not allowed onto the pitch? But behind all the jokes, the relationship between Lamine and Kane is genuinely beautiful. There is a huge age difference between them, but Lamine clearly has a very protective and almost parental bond with his little brother. He has said that Kane is like a son to him, and that watching his family experience these moments is part of what makes his success meaningful, and maybe that is why people reacted so strongly to the video. Football is usually presented through statistics, goals, assists, trophies, market, values, records. But sometimes the most memorable moment has nothing to do with the match itself. Sometimes it is simply a 3-year-old running across the pitch because he wants to hug his older brother. Lamine Yamal may be one of football's biggest young superstars, but to Kane, he is just Lamine, his big brother, the person waiting for him with open arms after the biggest victory of his career. And that is what made the moment so special. There was no performance, no planned celebration, no dramatic speech. Kane saw his brother and started running. That was it. And somehow, it became one of the most heartwarming images of the entire World Cup. So, yes, Spain won the trophy. Lamine Yamal became a world champion, but Kane Yamal became the unofficial star of the celebration. He entered the tournament as Lamine's little brother, and left it with his own fan base, his own number 19 shirt, and an imaginary market value of 20 million euros. Honestly, give him a few more viral appearances, and Barcelona might start checking whether he is available for the academy. What do you think? Was Kane the real star of Spain's World Cup celebration? And which moment was cuter, him running into Lamine's arms, or him casually throwing the piece of goal net at his world champion brother? Tell me in the comments, and subscribe and follow for more football stories, reactions, and viral moments, because Lamine Yamal may have won the World Cup, but Kane definitely won the internet.